Have you ever seen something online and thought, I could do that, without any justification as to why you think you could? Well, that's exactly what happened to me when I decided to build a trailer. I suppose it would probably help if I showed you the trailer. This is the trailer. It doesn't always look like this. It used to look like this when we first got it. And then we got the frame put in it, then it looked like that. And then after that, I got it painted and it looked like this. And then eventually it got to a point, well, where it looks like you see it. But its days of looking like this are numbered, because today we're dismantling it. I guess there's going to be people wondering why the hell I would take this apart. And there's also going to be people out there wondering, why the hell am I wearing shorts as red as these? Does he think he's in Baywatch? Kinda. We just don't use it. We don't use it anymore at all. And it's just a waste, isn't it? And we've got other plans, not just for the trailer, but for everything that's here, apart from the roof tent, which we're actually selling. But everything else, we've got plans for. So why did I get the trailer? Well, the trailer was kind of a byproduct of the fact that the camper van only sleeps, well, it's meant to sleep 4, but it doesn't really, it's 2. But also because I was watching a video on YouTube and they had a cool overland trailer with a roof tent on with the kids in. And I thought that's ideal. Obviously we can sleep in a nice warm camper van. The kids can be cold outside in the tent because we're loving parents and all that sort of stuff. And, well, it looks cool as out. I thought, why don't we just get one and build it? Planning this thing was an absolute nightmare, to be honest. So originally we had loads of dreams for it. It was meant to be something that supports the camper van, that we can fill up the water. It's got its own water tank and water pump. It's got an outdoor cooking area. It's got loads of storage. It's got a dog area that we can keep the dogs in when we don't want them running all over the place. But obviously plans changing. As we got closer to finishing building the initial phase of it, we actually took it away and used it once, and we realized that half the things we actually originally wanted it to do, we didn't even need it to do. I don't know why, but I expected this to maybe take an hour, maybe 2. I think we've been at it now for probably 4 hours, and it's been an absolute pig. I forgot that we used underseal type stuff, which was like greasy, oily stuff, by accident, and it's still all over all the metal, so I'm covered in it. I look like I've been on the rob. Oh, we've got refreshments. I've got a beer assistant. I've always wanted a beer assistant. Hey. Now she can try and justify it in any way she wants, but this whole situation has been brought on because she wants this piece of wood for a seat that no one will sit on. Well, you better.
I'm sitting on it.
So this whole day of destruction, wood everywhere. My favourite tops ruined, and it's for this piece of wood that I suspect isn't quite wide enough for 2 people to sit on. But what changed? Why do we not need this anymore? Well, to be honest, we didn't really need it in the first place. We have got the inflatable awning, like I mentioned previously, but this was just a bit more of a cooler solution that just looked a little bit better. We are looking to move in the not so distant future, so realistically, this trailer as an actual trailer will be a lot more handy and a lot more useful than it is like this. Plus, we are selling this. Obviously, she wants a bench, making out of that. And to be fair, it was just wasted sitting there like that. It was strange seeing the trailer like this, all empty, light and, well, trailer looking again. I remember being nervous about towing this little thing when I first got it. It's so light, and when it's empty it bounces all over the place when I'm towing it. I suppose the repurposing of this trailer and its contents wasn't a result of Danny wanting a bench after all. It was a result of me mission over the last month or so. When we bought this house, the previous owner had left a ton of scrap wood, old decking boards and even some useful lengths of wood. Recently I've been trying to make things out of them, to actually put some of this stuff to use rather than it just sitting there. It started off with this. We have a lovely outdoor pizza oven, but there was nowhere for anything to be prepped. So I built this and painted it to look a little bit rustic. I like it, it works. Then Danny wanted us to stop leaving all my shoes at the bottom of the stairs.
So I built a slightly wonky bench with a space to store shoes underneath it. Again, I made it look a little bit rustic, albeit a little bit more rustic than I wanted. But then it was onto the bird feeder that me and my daughter made. Yes, it's a little bit big, and yes, it's got a dog bowl in it, full of water, sometimes. But it works, and we enjoyed making it, it was fun. Then I made this bench seat after I saw a picture of one online and thought, I could build that. It turns out I can, and I did. And the last thing that we made was the thing that spelt the end for the trailer. It was this table. It's actually just some solid wood worktop and 4 wrought iron legs screwed to it. Danny likes it a lot. So much so that she almost sniffed out the other lengths of this worktop and earmarked them for more outdoor furniture. The most usable lengths of this wood happened to be the pull-out worktop from the trailer. So that was it. That we didn't use the trailer anymore. And that's where the story all began.
I suppose wood is handy material, and it's something that can be reused, repurposed and put to use to something else. And that's what's happening with this. Obviously it's going to become a bench. Pretty important when you're sitting on something to make sure the edges are not really sharp, and you'd be surprised how sharp the edges of stuff like this actually feels. If you've made it this far into the video, then you're the type of people that I need on my new channel. Yes, another channel, considering I can't even barely post very often on this channel. But there's a reason behind that, and that's because really, if it's not about a van or it's not about road trips, people are just not really that bothered on this channel, and that's fine. That's what this channel was originally set up for, but I'm kind of backed into a corner that I don't really want to be in anymore. So my solution to that is to have 2 channels, and my second channel is going to be about all sorts of stuff. It might be about me, it might be about the dogs, it might be about my weight loss journey, because I've been on one. Nah, I'll not be about that. It could be. Nah, it could be about anything really, just any type of video that I want to make that's not about the van and not about a road trip, then it'll go on there. I mean, I might post stuff about road trips on there as well, I don't know, but if you want to subscribe to that, there's a link to that in the description below. That'll obviously help us out, because I am starting that channel from scratch. I'm on like 35 subscribers. It's strange. These, bloody hell, it's bright. These are the legs. We actually get them off Amazon. They're only relatively cheap, or so Danny tells us. There we have it. It's done. Oi oi. Well, it's not. I need to sand it down. I use a really, really high grit sandpaper to get all the crap off. Now I need to smoothen it out a little bit. But then it's done. It's pretty much done. Nice and smooth. Just need to varnish it now, but I haven't got any left, so that'll have to wait another day. But we can see whether it fits, whether it's too long. What if it's too long? It better not be too long. What if it's not high enough? We'll sharp fin doot.
I suppose, like us, the wood, the metal and the trailer itself have to adapt, to change and gradually grow into something else, a better, more useful version of itself in order to live a fulfilled life. Maybe there's something we can all learn from this. Even a good version of yourself, if unchanged for a while, can lead to a stagnant and dull life of nothingness.